Baby, listen here. Listen here. It is reunion time. We've been waiting patiently for reunion time to come. Well, it's here. I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak French. I don't speak German. I don't speak Russian. I don't speak anything other than English, unfortunately. That's the only language I speak outside of gold digger. I do speak a little bit of gold digger, honey. I do. And obviously, so do the Real Housewives of Potomac. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for season 7, part 1 of the reunion for Real Housewives of Potomac. Listen, like I said, I only speak English fluently, but I do speak a little bit of gold digger. Child, I said, this is all we talking here is gold digger, honey. Gold digger. What is really going on? Okay, first things first, before we even get into anything, when it first flashes on, we see that Robin knew about, well, Robin's married. She got married. So that was egg on my face because I was like Karen. I was like, this child ain't never get married, child. This is just part of her storyline. She ain't get married. I don't pay her no attention. And I wouldn't even be reporting on stuff with Robin and old Juan. But they actually did get married. They got married, and then it was all blasted that Juan had an affair. And here's the thing. When we opened up this reunion, Robin knew about the affair. They worked through it all before the filming of season 7. I said, this is a mess. And then she ended up doing the details of everything on Patreon. And baby, let me tell you something. Bravo, Andy. Not happy whatsoever. I said, I know that's right. I wouldn't have been happy either, Andy, because it feels like she's double dipping. It feels like she shaded you all, whereas they was reaching and grasping at storylines. When she had a storyline, she just didn't share it with you. She took your check and then took and made another check for, listen, multiple streams of income. And as we went through the reunion, we found out our girl Robin is all about multiple streams of income and business arrangements. Listen, it is what it is, but old Andy was not happy. Not happy. And here's the one thing: whenever they did whenever they got on and they started saying about Robin being married, and they were saying congratulations, child, is the first time in the night that I was sitting here squalling. Do you hear me? Karen's face. Take Bravo is so shady. They kept on flashing that camera on Karen, and Karen was making faces. It was absolutely hilarious. I was like, Karen, why is you doing Robin? It was terrible. It was terrible. Oh God. Okay, so that was the first thing. Now I'm gonna break off right here. Leave 4 minutes in. I'm gonna break off and I'm gonna do what it is that I do. Okay, we will go on and get it on out of the way. Fashions. Let's talk about the fashions, shall we? Let's speak fashion. Okay, so it's the sea of blue, and you all know I love blue. I love blue. Well, you know, I like all the crayons that the color are in the crayon box, but I really do love blue. I love blue. I got a lot of blue clothes. I do. I got a lot of blue clothes. But anyway, so that's what they're giving. Everything's blue, honey. I'm going to go right in, and let's just go right in. And I'm going to say the ones I like: Mia, Robin, Karen. Mia, Robin, Karen. I would actually have given Karen right there in the center as the grand dame, and I'm here for it because I would actually have given hers that hers would have been my favorite, but there were some fitting and construction issues on it with the illusion at the top. It was a little saggy, which was really distracting. In this picture, you can't see it because the match was, for her skin is fantastic. But up close, you could actually see it. There's a little something in the fit. And then the sleeve, a little baggy. Just some fit and construction issues. But the dress itself is my favorite of all of them. Mia's dress is very much my aesthetic. It's, y'all know I love high slits, the long train, and the princess cut. That's dead on. That's my aesthetic. So, best dress, I'd have to give it to Mia. Mia actually looked better than she's ever looked on the whole show. I thought she looked fantastic. Her makeup was nice. Her hair was nice. Her dress, she is like the perfect fit on her dress. And it's a nasty piece of blue velvet. I'm here for it. But truly, style-wise, Karen would have been my favorite because Karen's clean. She clean as hell, but the dress has a couple little fitting issues. So I just got to give it that. Robin's dress is, it's on the money, and it looks like money. It just looks good, but it has this thing that that I can't really get with, which is called off the rack. It's off the rack. And for this, I don't want an off the rack look. The dress is literally perfect. It fits her perfect, except for she didn't get it hemmed. There's another picture that I saw where she's standing. When you look at, in this photo right here, look at Giselle's hemline. To the floor. That's the gown. Gown goes to the floor. And then it works itself around. I seen another picture where you could actually see that in the slit on Robin's dress, it goes to the floor and then it is folded over because it actually is too long and it was never actually hemmed properly. So it's like, okay, this is some off the rack stuff, and they didn't actually customize it to you. And this is a reunion. Things need to be customized to you. I don't know where you're going, period, with a dress that's too long. You just took it off the hanger. Is it borrowed? Do you have to give it back? So I can't give it to you. But other than that, once you move up from her foot up, the dress is gorgeous. It's really gorgeous. It looks really good on Robin. It fits well. I hate her hair. I like Robin better with like her short cuts, or her short sassy cuts are really nice. Robin's pretty, so she could wear like updos and stuff. But I would have loved to see her in one of her little short sassy cuts with this. Like I said, I went over Mia. The color looks great on Mia. Mia looks great. Her makeup is good. Everything like that. Right next to her, Candace looks a mess. Candace looks a mess. It is like and it could have been done. I see what she was going for, because she was going for an old nasty piece of reed, and Andy actually clicked on and talked about the whole Cookie Monster thing. Yes, she does look like Cookie Monster, and it was by design, I do believe. But here's the problem with the dress, because I would like it because it's drama. It is big, it is full, and it's all that, but it wasn't full enough. See, the thing with feathers, you always do better to go with too many feathers, never not enough feathers. Not enough feathers is terrible. Candace's dress, you can see it here. You should not see the fabric underneath that dress. That nude shade of fabric, you should not see that underneath. There should be so many feathers that you don't see anything. You shouldn't even be able to see the floor underneath her dress. You shouldn't see anything. Too many feathers, never a problem. Not enough feathers is terrible. The hair, I hated it. Too hard. I didn't like that color. It was just, it just seemed, I guess, a little wiggy to me. So I just didn't care for Candace's look. Now, The thing is, the hair I didn't like, the dress, I like where you were going, but it just looks a little cheesy because, again, you don't have enough feathers. But as far as skin and makeup, pretty, 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 pretty and brown, and she looked like a toasted nut. You know, her skin and her legs, gorgeous. Her skin and her legs and everything, gorgeous. I just want to take the dress and put some more feathers on it. And I just didn't like the hair. I didn't care for the hair at all. I really didn't. Karen. Everything with Karen is fine. Her hair and all. She looks like the Grand Dame. Her skin looks wonderful. She looks like an older woman, And I was laughing because the faces, if you see my thumbnail, the faces she was making, she looked like an old, disgruntled Barbie doll, an old one. And it works. She's the Grand Dame, and she looks like the Grand Dame. Again, and another thing, now that color of Karen's dress, I would have absolutely loved this dress to be royal blue. Because most of the stones are actually royal blue. So I would have loved the dress to be royal blue, though I love that color. Speaking of the crayon box, the Crayola crayon box, there was a crayon in that box, which was my favorite. It was the one that I always used up first. It was my favorite crayon, and it was called cornstarch. It was just a weird shade of blue. Anytime I see anything in that color, most times I buy it because I love it. It's like, I guess, a favorite. I always say I don't really have a favorite color because I play with all the colors, but that was always my favorite color in that Crayola crayon box, and it was called cornstarch. But this time, I would have preferred this dress to be royal blue. If Karen's dress was the same color as Mia's, I think it would have actually popped better. The stones and everything would have lit up even more. And that's, but other than that, the style of it was actually my favorite overall. But again, there were some fitting issues, so I can't say she was my best dress. Shoes pretty, hair pretty, all of that. Grand Dame. Everything was Grand Dame. It all looks very effortless is the look that Karen has. It's effortless. This mess here next to her, if Giselle don't get up out of my face with this dress. Now, Candace ain't got enough feathers. Giselle's designer, I guess, ran out of stones because I guess y'all had to notice that the two arms are different. There's three on that cuff at the top. There are 3 rows of stones on one side, ain't but 2 on that other. That dress is terrible. That dress is terrible. I'm not a fan of it. I'm going to tell you what it looks like. It looks like one of Beyonce's costumes. It should have been a leotard. Leave everything the same with the gloves made into it and the whole 9 yards. Make it into a leotard, and it could go right with Beyonce on the Renaissance tour. It could go right with Beyonce on the Renaissance tour. She'll put a cute little boot with it and do herself a fabulous cover up, and she could come out and do I'm a diva. That would be perfect for that song. I'm a diva. I'm a diva. It would be perfect for that outfit. But as a gown, that little scuba gear looking, that's terrible. And the hair is awful. That hair is awful. That just does not look good on Giselle. It looks hot and it looks cumbersome. And I just don't like it. I don't care for it at all. The top of it could definitely be saved. It could be made into a leotard and hand it on over to the queen, honey, and let B do what it needs to do, honey. Hey, I'll be here for it. Color and all. The color's beautiful. But Beyonce ain't wearing it with no stones missing. They'll finish it, and it needs some more stones. B will hook it up. But yeah, it ain't a total throwaway. But for you, Giselle, let it on go. It's terrible. Okay. Next, Ashley, child. Same hem issue, I think, with Ashley's dress as Robin. And it's very off the rack prom. It's prom. And Ashley is shaped nice, but Ashley has more of an athletic build. The cut of that dress is really, it does not flatter her waist. It actually makes her look a little thicker. It makes her look more like an athletic. It's more athletic, less sex, you know what I mean? Sex goddess. Then the hair is just big and stiff. I don't like that hair at all. This is the time I would have preferred to see Ashley with her own hair. I would have preferred to see her with her own hair. That wig, I didn't care for that. It was stiff and wiggy, and the part was, I don't know. I just didn't care for it. It looked like what it was, like a helmet. Wendy. Take the bottom of the dress and do something else with it. Everything above the waist, I can't do. The bottom is fabulous. The bottom is fabulous. It gives me Lola Falana. That top, that's a nude color, but that's nude for Ashley, not for Wendy. So it doesn't look good. And then that piece is too big. It's just too high, and it looks it looks like a costume. It looks like a costume. And then when she was sitting, it looked, again, cumbersome and uncomfortable. But the nude illusion on the one side, that nude color is the wrong color. It's the wrong color. And it just looked, from the waist up, everything wrong. From the waist down, fantastic. Just get a whole different top. Make a whole nother dress. But let's just say this. Remove the dress, Wendy's makeup, her hair, and her skin. She got the same thing going on like with Candace. Wendy looked like a Hershey's chocolate bar. She really, her legs look gorgeous. Her shoes was bad. Her shoes was bad because they're clear, and it made it look like she just had like a mule on, or like somebody just stuck her, like just glued the heel to her or something, because you can't even really see because they're like a slingback. Beautiful, beautiful shoes. But I was here for, at this point, at this juncture, it made a better nude photo, child. Just take all the clothes off and stand there and be bad, because at this point, Miss Wendy is bad, and chocolatey goodness, honey. But yeah, her legs and her skin and everything just look gorgeous. But yeah, I would save the bottom of the dress. The top of the dress, I would just do away with all of it. I just have no need for it whatsoever. Okay, so that's it for the fashions. Now back over here to the gold digger, honey. Okay, let's go right on back into it. So we did all that. Then the next thing they jump right into Michael and Ashley. He is a key to the house. That's like an issue. She was dating this guy, Luke, who is a hockey player, and things have basically gone left, basically because of Michael's involvement. Michael is Michael. Michael is never going to let you go. You have been bought and paid for, sis. That's all that it is. That's to it. You've been bought and paid for. And I think it kind of, I always felt like she knew what she was doing. She's had the two kids, and she had everything going like she needed to have it going. And then she was just going to get rid of him when she was done. But it comes out, you lost in the prenup. The prenup did not work in your favor. How embarrassing. How dreadful. How embarrassing. How dreadful. And I sat there, and then this is when I said, oh my God, the level of gold diggering that was present. Robin leaned her ass over there and said, she needs to have another baby. Who says that in front of the world? That's kitchen table talk, sweetheart. That's kitchen table talk. You don't say that in front of the world. It looks so. Robin and Mia. Mia's like, she didn't secure the bag. I said, so everything's a business arrangement. I mean, we knew that. It's one thing when you think you know, it's another when you see it in play. So business arrangements. If I was G, I'd be looking around like, really now? And Juan, you know what time it is. So yeah, gold digger at its finest. Ashley, you didn't do so good. I thought you had this all under wraps, but you didn't. You really didn't do so good. Then Andy breaks out, honey, and he gave this whole thing of, he says, here's a comment, and here it was, Ashley had to eat crow. And by crow, I mean Candace sitting over there with that sparse feathered Cookie Monster dress. Listen, they said last year you made a comment about Candace being the most unaccomplished housewife of this show. And now Candace got it going on, and they list all her accolades. And then they're like, so what you got going on? Bad marriage, bad separation, screwed up prenup, had to eat crow, honey. Crow with blue feathers. I said, oh. And then Candace, Candace loves to read, honey. So Candace laid one. I said, ooh, Miss Candace. She said, so you basically shamed me for generational wealth. If you're lucky, once your children get older, maybe you'll be able to have some generational wealth set aside for them. You don't have it yet, but maybe you'll have it by then, honey. And I looked at that dog on Ashley, and Ashley was like, well, no, when my kids turn 30, you better believe they'll have houses with their own names. Will they? Will, girl, you're reading yourself. Will they? Because now you're 30 and you don't have a house with your name, honey. And that Candace was not letting it go at all. I said, oh my God. And I was looking at Ashley that looked like at one point like she wanted to cry. I said, and you should. You look foolish. You look fool making them kind of comments. You look foolish. Girl, you don't be doing people about money. Don't do people about money, because money can come like this and it can go like this. You ain't never heard easy come, easy go? Ask Mia. Anyway, moving on. Mia and Wendy got to going at it at one point, honey. And why did Mia, because they was going through this whole thing about Mia and her lies and her sickness, and you couldn't get through to the bottom of it. And again, ain't nobody got time to be trying to decipher Mia-ism. I know I don't. It just is lies. All of it is all just lies until I see something different. I hope you're not sick, but girl, I don't believe anything that comes out of your mouth for the most part. Anyway, but her and Wendy got to go on, and honey, here she goes. She's going to come for Wendy's husband. I said, girl, y'all going to leave these people's husbands alone. Said, honey, maybe my opportunistic husband will film me next time laying on a hospital bed. I said, no, she didn't say that about Eddie. Well, I said, well, wait a minute. I said, girl, what you say? You ain't talking about Eddie. Hit Eddie with that bullet. I said, oh my. Honey, Miss Wendy said, girl, maybe your next husband will do that for you. Next question, Andy. I said, oh. Girl, no, she didn't hit you with gold digging slut, honey. I said, she means Jew. She means Jewel. I said, okay, Wendy. Hit her with it. I hit her with the he, honey. Then they went on. They started talking about the company. Lord have mercy. Like I said, easy come, easy go. Gordon done been kicked out of the business by the brothers. This is what I could decipher of the Mia-ism. He done got kicked out of the business by the brothers, honey. So then they were talking about they couldn't get it together. She get wrapped up in her lives. Said, well, wait a minute. We ain't getting it. We turned into a whole thing. They're like, is there 3 members on the board or is there 8 members on the board? Baby, they were sitting there laughing at her. As she got mad as hell. She was hot as fish grease. She said, I'm not going to sit up here and talk to these ladies. If you don't understand business, they're like, no, we understand business. We don't understand lies, and we don't understand Mia-ism, honey. That's what it is. And I concur, honey. I don't understand any of what she's talking about. I feel bad for poor Gordon, honey. She said, we're living off of our savings. I said, now that I believe. Sorry about it. It's awful. It's dreadful. So I feel bad for her about that. But girl, all that lying and all that foolishness, girl, they wasn't playing with you. They was laughing at you, sis. Laughing. Anyway, then we end up going into this whole thing with Candace and Giselle. So You notice the whole thing with Chris. And later on in this, Chris is going to be coming out, and we'll get to talk to Chris because Chris hasn't really had a chance to say anything. But I know he's hot. He's hot as fish grease as well. So Giselle was saying, you know what, listen, for certain things that were being said, they was rolling back. She said, I'm going to apologize to Chris when he comes out, and I'm going to apologize to you for this specific statement. And Candace was like, girl, all you do is use people and you malign husbands and you try to tear up relationships. You're mad because you ain't got nothing going on. And then you use everything as a storyline because the stuff where you and Chris, that happened before we were ending season 6. The reunion, you could have just contacted me or whatever. We was cool at the time, but you waited until cameras was rolling and then you want to bring it up because you just took it and you used my husband as your storyline and you wanted to malign him and my marriage, and it ain't cool. She called her right out on it and then told her, she said, well, I'm going to apologize. She said, you could take that apology and stick it straight up your ass. I said, that was pretty final. That was it. And that was all. I said, wow. And left her sitting there, honey. Miss Giselle gave her, you do all these things, honey, because you have nothing going on. I said, oh. So that was it. I mean, that was, like I said, when I said that's it and that was all, baby, we left on out of the first part of the reunion with that. I said, oh. Come on through, Miss Candace. Now your dress ain't hitting, but you hit them with a couple of haymakers, girl. Yeah, you did. You did good this part of the reunion. You came on through with it, and your skin and everything looks beautiful. I'll give you that. Your skin look good, mama, and your makeup look good. Anyway, that's it. And that's all. See how final that was? I ain't got nothing else to say. I ain't got nothing else to say. But like I said, I don't speak Russian, French, Spanish. I don't speak anything fluent other than English and gold digger.